Hey guys, welcome back to another video. If you guys are new here, my name is JJ and I am excited for today's video, guys. I am actually talking about something that I don't talk a lot about on the channel, and that's for a couple reasons. The main reason being that for some reason, the algorithm of YouTube does not like when I talk about real estate. But I've officially said screw it, I don't care. I'll be honest with you guys. Real estate is probably my single favorite way to invest money. There's something about it that I love. I love that it's the tangible asset, that I have control of it. I can choose what I want to do with it. I don't rely on higher CEOs or other people to manage this investment for me. It is 100% under my control. I also love the amount of cash flow that it kicks back. I can earn a lot more cash flow because I can leverage my money responsibly to invest in real estate, to where I tend to not use margin at all. I don't really leverage my money when I'm investing in stocks because this is something I choose not to do. I feel more comfortable doing that with real estate. Now, guys, in today's video, I do have a special surprise for you all. In today's video, we are going to be talking about how I analyze deals, how I look at real estate properties and see if it's worth making an offer or not. And the spreadsheet I've been using for literally the past 5 years now, give or take. I still use it to this day. I've made a couple tweaks here and there. And for all of my subscribers and anyone else who watches this video, as a simple thank you for watching my videos and being a subscriber and kind of following along my journey of investing in stocks, real estate, index funds, and just kind of seeing where everything goes, I am giving you guys a spreadsheet for free so you guys can watch the video, see how I do it, see how I input the numbers. We're going to look at a real-time deal. We're going to look at a real property, and I will show you exactly how I run through all of my numbers. And if you guys are interested in using this spreadsheet for your own analysis when you're looking at deals in your area, you guys can, I'll leave a link down below in the description where you guys can download that link and get it as a Google Sheets. So without further ado, guys, I want to hop on the computer. I'm going to showcase to you guys a property we're going to look at. We will analyze that property number by number, and I'll show you exactly how I do that with every property. And then we will see if the property would be a good purchase or not, and kind of go from there. So let's hop over to the computer and take a look. Okay, so here we are on the computer, and the first thing I want to bring up is the property we are going to be looking at today for today's video example. So this is in an area that I am actually buying rental properties. This is where I look to invest my money. I don't currently live here anymore. I live about 4 hours away from Kansas City, and this is still where I set up to invest all in my properties because I have a team still set up from Kansas City when I did live there. So we're looking at this property. Right now it's listed at $110,000. It's a 3-bed, 1-bath, or a little over 1,000 square feet. Now, quickly looking through here at the pictures, it's definitely outdated. The house is outdated, but these are the properties that I love to find because you can put built-in sweat equity. What that means is if you come in here and looks like you may need to paint the walls, let's say we put in some new flooring or new carpet, and if you want to go the extra mile, maybe paint cabinets or do whatever. I'm not updating this kitchen because it's a rental property. I don't want to spend too much money, and you can only really put so much value into some of these neighborhoods until you're overdoing it. And with it being a rental property, I don't want to overdo it here. So maybe let's say we add carpet and maybe new trim and like some paint or something very, very easy to do just to get some decent renters in this property. So that's what we're going to assume, and I'll do the numbers for that in a second. So then what I like to do here is I like to take a look at the price and tax history because we will need this for later. So I look at the property taxes and stuff like that. So now that we know that our property's here, what I want to bring up next is the actual rental property spreadsheet. This is what I have been using for years on analyzing rental properties. So all of these white cells right here, all of these white cells are input cells. That means that's cells that I have to input something. It takes something from me that I need to put in there. These yellow and these gray highlighted cells, these are cells that have formula. You can see the formulas up in here for this. So with that, I know that I don't have to input anything in there because it will automatically populate as I'm starting to put in numbers. So let's do this here. Let's run through this, and I want to show you guys exactly how I do this. And it can, once you understand what you're looking at, it can go really fast of you analyzing these properties. Now, I want to mention this first. The first thing I like to do when I'm looking at a property is a quick analysis tool I use is the 1% rule. And what the 1% rule states is that you would need about $1,100 per month in order for this to be a decent property. Now, I don't ever just strictly go buy property only because it meets the 1% rule. There's a lot other factors that go into, but it is a good first quick step to see if it's even maybe a property you want to look further into. So this property listed at $110,000. So for the purchase price, we'll do $110,000. And then the next step we will do, so here, this cell right here is the estimated down payment. So if you are going to be buying this property as a rental property, you're not going to be living in it, you have to put a minimum down payment of 20%. So I have the 20%, that's this 0.2 right here. And if it's a multifamily property, I just simply go up here and I will add a 5 here. So now we're putting 25% down. But since this is a single family home, I'm only using 20%. Now, estimated closing costs, this will differ depending on the area of country you're in. For me, roughly it costs about $4,500 for me to close on a property in Kansas City, give or take, a few $100 here or there. Now, estimated rehab costs, we did talk about. We will probably need some flooring. We'll probably need some trim done, some paint, whatever that may be. I'm not getting too crazy with these numbers. I know some of you may be like, oh, that's way off or way, let's just assume that we'll spend roughly, we'll spend $5,000 on rehab costs between, let's say, flooring and paint. Let's just assume that. Let's say I can go up to Kansas City and I can paint the house if I want to. So the mortgage length, I'm going to go 30 years. Interest rate, I will do, let's assume a 4% interest rate, and then the rent. So the rent in this area, this is something else that you need to probably work on if you're a newbie investor. The one cool thing I love about having a property manager, I do have a property manager that manages all of my properties because I am, roughly 4 hours away from the area that I invest in. So looking at this rental property and knowing the area, I could also call up my property manager, send her a text and say, hey, what do you think I can get this for rent? Let's assume after I do floor paint and maybe trim that I can get for a 3-bed, 2-bath, let's say I can get $1,000. So let's throw in $1,000 in rent. Okay, so let's back up a second. So this cell right here, the estimated total cash down, what this is doing is this is adding up all of the money you're going to have to come to the table to close on the property. So this adds up your down payment, your closing costs, and then also the rehab costs that you will be doing as soon as you buy the property before you put renters in there, giving you a total of $31,500. Now remember that number as we move farther along in this video. Now this mortgage right here, this will calculate automatically what your mortgage will be every single month based on the purchase price, the mortgage length, and the interest rate that you'll get. So right now we'd be paying a roughly $420 mortgage payment. Now for property taxes and insurance, this is something you cannot forget. You cannot forget whenever you're analyzing a deal about your property taxes. So looking at the property, the reason I clicked property and tax history is because you can find the property taxes in Zillow. So it's $1,674. I like to round up to the nearest 100 because typically the taxes will raise every single year, give or take. So let's throw in $1,700 for taxes. And then for insurance, this is usually a good guess. If you're getting down to the dollar, you can call your insurance agent and have them give you an estimated price. I'm going to assume this house will probably cost around $1,000 for insurance for the year. So that's about $83 per month and $140 per month for taxes. Now I have a spot in here for HOA fees, for lawn maintenance. My lawn maintenance is usually for multifamily properties that I'm analyzing. My tenants always take care of their lawn if it's in a single family property. Now for vacancy, repairs and maintenance, and CapEx, guys, there's a couple different things. People do this a different way. Now I like to take money out. I take about 15% total from the rent number. So this is where this is coming from. I do a 5% takeout for vacancy of the rent. So that's where this $50 is coming from. I do the same thing for repairs and maintenance and CapEx. So what that is telling you is that technically I would need to take out $150 every time I receive a rent check and put it into my bank account. So I do this for numbers reasons, just to see what my true monthly cash flow will be, because you will have maintenance issues, you will have vacancies, you will have CapEx issues that you have to replace. CapEx being like the larger things you have to fix on a house, a roof, AC, furnace system, whatever it may be. So that's where this comes from. Now, to me, I don't necessarily like take out the money every single month because I already have a pile of cash sitting in my bank account. Now, I still like to take these numbers out to show what the true deal looks like. So it's important to have these numbers in here, but I already know I have the numbers accounted for, so I technically don't have to pull out the cash here. It's just another like extra added bonus of cushion to realize exactly what your true monthly cash flow will be. So now we're looking at property management here. So property management, I get charged 8% from my property manager to manage my properties. So that's $80. And then finally we get down here to the true monthly cash flow. So this is the true amount that I get after all these expenses are taken care of or taken accounted for. So after everything's said and done, mortgages paid, taxes, insurance, money's taken out for vacancy, all of that, I get a $125 every single month in true monthly cash flow. Now, what this is telling you right here is you'll get a total annual cash flow of around $1,500, and then your cash-on-cash return will be around 4%. So now we're looking at these numbers. What does that tell me? Well, first, for here, I like to personally see a $150 or more right here. Whoops. Or more from my monthly cash flow. That's just a number I like to see. It's at least enough to fix a little issue, maintenance issue, or whatever that may be. So that's usually on a single family unit. In my multifamily properties, this number is a lot higher. Now for a cash on cash return, I usually like to see a 10 to 12% or more on my cash on cash return. As we can see, the cash on cash return is not showing that in this deal. It's only 4%. So what is this cash on cash percent return, and where do you get the numbers? So basically a cash on cash return is the return percentage on your money that you are investing. So that's coming from this total cash down. So I have to invest $31,500 of my own personal money that I'm pulling out of my bank account. Once that is invested and I get my $125 every single month, for the year, I'm getting a 4% cash-on-cash return. So that's how that kind of comes into fruition. That's how you get that number. So I know if I'm investing $31,500 into the stock market, is there a way that I can beat this 4% return I'm going to get on my money? Most likely, yeah, I can probably beat that. That's why I like to see these 10 to 12% returns whenever I'm analyzing a deal, knowing that I'm doing the best I can with my money. And I also like to see this at $150 or more to get that cash flow coming in the bank every single month. So guys, that's the quick way how I analyze deals, how I'm analyzing properties. Looking at this deal right here, this is probably something I wouldn't purchase. And also, a little fun fact, I actually did analyze this property before this video, and there was some other major issues, structural issues with the house that I ended up passing on because, one, the numbers already don't look good, and then two, there were some more major maintenance issues on the property that were structurally wrong with it. There's some major settlement that's messed with the foundation. So it's a house. If this was a lot cheaper of a purchase price, maybe I'd look into it. But with it already being as high as it is, it's not a property that I'm looking to move forward with. So anyways, guys, again, that is how I analyze properties. Fun fact here is I actually did just make an offer on 2 duplexes. Me and Brad Finn, my co-host over at the Average Money Podcast. Check us out. There's a link down below in the description if you guys want to check us out over there. We did make an offer on 2 duplexes yesterday. So we're crossing our fingers that we hope we get those deals. If we do, I'll actually make a video here on the channel. We got a podcast episode coming out. Actually, one came out today about real estate, and then one coming out hopefully next Monday if we get this deal, and we will talk numbers and everything about that and why we made that offer. So guys, again, that is the video for today. That's how I analyze a property. I'm not saying it's the most best way, but it's how I get it's how I find my properties, guys. Again, if you are interested in using and downloading this spreadsheet, I will have the Google Sheets version of this spreadsheet down below in the description where you guys can download that for free. All I ask in return is a like on this video if you did get some value out of it. Also, if you could maybe share the video with a friend or family member, that also helps me out and helps the channel out big time. So guys, again, thank you all so much for watching, especially if you made it to this point. And until the next video, you guys take care.